Hi my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shogun Zorra and thank you for tuning in. And yes, as you can see, this video is going to be a bit different. I'm just going to make my overall thoughts. I will share my overall thoughts about the whole windbreaker situation. I've talked about this, you will see this in this video. And I want to make this basically a compilation of all my reactions I did to Windbreaker. So Windbreaker is my favorite series, and if you are not aware, what happened to Windbreaker recently is because of the whole tracing allegation and trace that had happened that the creator, the artist did for the series, has been cancelled. And I'll share overall my whole thoughts about it. And yeah, basically I did this even like 2-3 months ago, my react to Windbreaker. So yeah, as I also in this video have my initial reaction to the final chapter of Windbreaker, I will also put it in other reaction that was not in the previous Windbreaker reaction video. So everything will be continuous ones from the start, from the moment I started reacting to Windbreaker till my final chapter of Windbreaker, and also you will hear all the thoughts I have about Windbreaker and everything. So yeah, it's unfortunate that it happens, but oh well. Yeah, of course I will have a timestamp to each reaction so you can see where exactly you want my reaction, if you want to see all my reaction to particular moment from Windbreaker, or you want just to hear out my thoughts about the whole situation. I've made also a short YouTube short where you can see it if you just want my initial reaction, and in this video we'll also hear my overall thought about the situation and other situation that Windbreaker potentially can come back. But yeah, have fun. I just want to yap about Windbreaker, the webtoon, because I love the series. More people need to read this, because I feel like Windbreaker does so well the balance between like how the characters' lives, like the problems, like the struggle of the teenagers and stuff, and also with the racing. And I love it so much about the series. And the art is so amazing. Of course, the art in the beginning is not that crazy, but as it progresses, it's so good. I love this character design in general. Art is freaking amazing. The character have style, drip, fashion. This is so freaking amazing. And one thing I also love about Windbreaker is about the characters, and especially character development, character growth. And what I probably have something anime is like the characters will mostly be the same, but of course they grow enough, but it's like almost like a drastic turn. And when the characters in anime, especially when they change. But it's not like with Windbreaker. With Windbreaker, I feel like, especially we can see this with Vinny and J-Jo, they compared to the beginning, of course they were a bit, we see the character, but throughout the story till now you see the growth, they become more open up, there's much better. I feel like you can see especially how the character grown so much, and I love to see so much about this, and a lot of also different characters. One thing I also love about, example, Vinny. One thing I would love about Vinny, example, he's a character. Of course, he was more like a delinquent, had almost never really went to school, making a lot of trouble and stuff, and of course the situation with his mom. And then of course, the moment he started join Hummingbird, everything is, you can see he starts slowing. It goes well for him. He goes more to school. He doesn't do as much trouble anymore, and he has fun time. His mom's also really happy for it. Has a girlfriend. Everything is goes so well. And of course, then bad thing happens. His mom is going to get sick, and then he separated himself from Hummingbird. And while all the situations bad happening, it goes worse all the time for Vinny. It's really makes me so sad. But what I love about Windbreaker, about Vinny, is Vinny doesn't hate Hummingbird career at all. He doesn't hate it, but he feels like he's let it outside because of how his situation is. And also he doesn't hate the crew, but he feels like they don't have like the same hunger that Vinny has, because Vinny does it mainly to save his mom, because the other characters don't have the same hunger as him. That's why J-Jo lost the race against Vinny, because he doesn't have the hunger. But I also love that J-Jo later on got the hunger when he fought against Kaneshiro, and that also shows like the growth from it. I can talk about more about, I think it's fine for now. I love Windbreaker, and many people should read this. series. Chapters been so freaking amazing. Art on top, everybody, characters on top. I love the series so much. And the thing is, I was rereading the race between Monster vs Hummingbird, and I remember when reading, they were Hummingbird, the Team Monster were saying Vinny, Jay is the only priority because Jay is a super rookie and he's an S-class cyclist, right? And they consider all the other characters from Hummingbird, like Minu. Okay, Minu doesn't rise anymore. Dom, June, and freaking Shelly, like A and B class. I would say at that time would say June might be a B plus or A minus race cyclist. Dawn would be A and Shelly would be a B because no one would ever think of Shelly as a race and everything. But yes, the race was freaking amazing, of course. But the now Sabbath versus Hummingbird, it's freaking amazing. I didn't expect like Shelly come so in clutch. She did really well at this monster, like strategized to how to defeat Monster. But now Shelly had like, she locked in. And what I really liked is also like they also constantly talked about like Shelly doesn't have like a sort of like desire, like a hunger for the racing and for the cyclists compared to the other characters. And especially in that season 4 in the Windbreaker, especially with Jay, Dom, and Shelly, it really showcased that they didn't have the same hunger that Vinny had, and that's mainly the reason why Vinny left, because he doesn't see the other characters like Jay, Shelly, Dom that have the hunger to really want to win. Because Vinny, of course, Vinny only races because he likes to race, and also he's the only cyclist where his mom's life depends on him if he doesn't win because he needs money, and because the other characters really didn't have it. And especially now we see, like, especially when Jay was cycling in Japan, he had got the same hunger desire. Now with Shelly, especially in the news chapter when she pierced through Sabbath, freaking amazing. Now we finally got to see her own aura, like. Now finally Shelly has like her own aura. We didn't see so much of her. That's so crazy. Look, it looks so freaking amazing. And I was like, damn, Shelly, she finally locked in. And that is freaking amazing to see. And that's so freaking amazing. All the characters, especially in Team Hummingbird, was so now really locked in and amazing. And especially now in the news, in freaking the race versus Sabbath, Dom locked in, and Dom was one of the characters who I really in love from early on. He's goofy, but can be very serious, especially Dom was. I would have classed Dom before the Sabbath an A class, A plus now, A plus, because Dom was really, I would say, not on one like Vinny and Jay, but he was causing mid-keep up, and it's not like he's a push over anything, but he doesn't have like the flexibility or the really ability to be an S-class placer. But against Monster, when he fought Monster, he was a poppy paw. It was, I would say, for Ang, he was A+. But especially now with Sabbath with the uphill, he's certified S-class cyclist. He's an S-class cyclist because he's racing up, cycles up the uphill. So as if he's sprinting, and that is crazy. Now everybody's looking at him because everyone's like, wait a second, isn't he a sprinter? That is freaking amazing. And I was like, wow. And especially his aura is freaking amazing. I love also like I forgot his girl also constantly looking for Dom, like, Dom, you can do it, everything. And that is crazy. Especially also love his father relationship. Also, he's really proud of him. And oh my goodness, Dom also, especially in this new chapter, it says Dom has now his passion, his hunger also is really crazy. Especially if you look at this, now going the uphill, look, here's his aura, he's on demon time, he is going ballistic. That is so ridiculous. And it's almost like a record, like everybody's like, wait, how is it possible that he's so fast? Even Monster was like, ain't no way, when did he become so fast, how strong, how did he evolve? And now I would say why one of the main reasons why I say it's now S-class is especially when everybody reaction, all the races like Calvary, I forgot, like where Noah is Owen, like Owen, the other characters, all the other S tier class who are also like sort of like similar type to Dom. See Dom was like, oh, he's not reached this level. Everybody was like, damn, Dom. Now Dom is S class. Now I want to see from Jay. Well, Jay performed really amazingly versus Kaneshiro and freaking Monster. I now want to see, because this is the final race against Vinny. He needs to knock. I need to see something crazy from Jay, because they stopped Jay. Vinny is stopping Jay. He's not able to do the 1-inch drift. So they know about it. So Jay needs to lock and do something crazy. I didn't expect from Dom, and Dom taking Jay and by his head and then sending him off like, Jay, you have to win. He's like find stepping stone to win the race. And I'm like, okay. Jay needs to perform something crazy. Also, Jay is one of the only characters I've noticed. Vinny, Monster, Joker, Kaneshiro, Noah, even now Shelly have like their own like aura, their like manifestation. Not like JoJo's like stance, but you can see like visually like what I just shown. And with Dom, we see multiple times. Jay is the only one who didn't show that sort of stuff. I'm like, I want to see that, especially from Jay, because I want to see that because that would mean probably he has something greater. The creator has something greater in mind for Jay. Of course, with Jay, we have seen like sometimes he has like this like Japanese painting stylish drawing, and sometimes you can see his eye color shifts from like purple, bluish, and sometimes also it's like when he did the first 1-inch drift, you can see like he has like a it's like a painting, like Japanese old school style painting when he drives. But I think there's something more to come. I'm really excited. Windbreaker is doing so well. What I love about Windbreaker compared to other sports series is, I might say Windbreaker might be my favorite sports series. What the other sports series like anime, manga are freaking amazing. One thing Windbreaker does, what I really wish to see more in something action series, also not necessarily in sports series, they focus more on the character itself. Outside of the sport itself, focus on the character itself. We see like a different relationship, stuff, and the other issues and stuff. I love all the characters. That Shelly is not, this is one reason why I love Windbreaker so much. They're outside. Also, I love the characters. Shelly was constantly being seen like, I think a lot of people were saying, yeah, Shelly is there. She's also on the team. She's also there to support. But I think we as a reader and also the people in the series didn't think Shelly would be that a great character in racing, right? Because she's only like there and didn't seem like it. Now she has the hunger. Now Noah even says like, what are you doing? Are you just a cheerleader? Are you now just a princess and a damsel in distress? Now Noah can see Shelly is there also. Now she can keep up. I would say now Vinny, if Vinny was still in Hummingbird, Vinny would be S. That would be the only 2 S. No, with Dom now, there are 3 S. Mino, depending on if Mino was never injured, I don't think Mino would be an S class cyclist. He would be A or A plus. Shelly is A and also A plus. I should say A, and Minu and June will be also A. Now their team would be the S and A ranked cyclists. If it's strong enough against other people, we have to see, because against Team Monster that would win if they have all the team versus Owen's team, it would be difficult. The American team would be also difficult, and also versus freaking Kaneshiro would be a very interesting thing. But now, yeah, Windbreaker I love. I've been yapping almost for 10 minutes now. Well, I just love this series. Just read the newest chapter of Windbreaker, chapter 544. And now, spoilers. So if you have been warned. Now the thing is, this was a amazing good chapter. We got to see like Vinny and Jay, like all the problems in their life they had and everything, the amalgamation of all the race, what's happening, come together into one, and why they're out riding right now and what that means to them. And it's been a beautiful chapter. It's sort of emotional. I remembered I just started Windbreaker in December of 2021, so it's been almost like 4 years since I've been reading Windbreaker. that is crazy. And now this argument of the race is coming out to one, and then yes, but I don't think so. I don't think Vinny won. One thing I really want to emphasize: Vinny, like, determination is really, really amazing and inspirational. Even though he had the chance with even though he had the chance to send to put the drug in, the doping, but he didn't. Thank goodness. I was scared of, but he didn't. Thank goodness. And also, yeah, I don't think Vinny has fully won. It probably looks like it because Vinny is so much more ahead of Jay because of his impact paddling. The fact that he didn't use it yet, it's impressive. I was surprised and almost forgot about it, but it makes sense because impact paddling would make the most sense in the final last race, like in final moments. But I don't think so because Jay lost against Vinny because of that before. I don't think Jay is losing to that again. Jay is going to do something, and it almost looks like, yeah, Vinny won, but I don't think so. I don't think Vinny has won completely yet. The moment I want, probably the next chapter we'll see something, unless you see Vinny completely through the finish line, completely from different perspective, then I believe it. But no, I don't think. I think what it means, it doesn't matter technically who wins if you think about it, because if Vinny wins, he gets prize money and everything. If Vinny wins, he gets prize money. If Jay wins, then also Jay wins with his team. But also then he would probably give the prize money to Vinny because it's also one of the main reasons why everything started. And also probably if Jay wins, then probably they will take Vinny in and they'll probably go to international against light cavalry, light cavalry, the Japanese team and the American team. So yeah, but amazing chapter. But I don't think so. Vinny won. Finished reading Windbreaker chapter 555. Yet the climax, the race, the competition is now over. If you have not read this, scroll away. I'm not going to talk about it. Jay won. Of course, it's obvious. Jay won. And from the previous chapter, it really looked like Vinny won because Vinny was ahead of Jay. And with the impact paddling, it was really amazing to see. And I thought, it's no way Jay wins. Even though I said in something in other comments before, like, both of them, Jay and Vinny, were deserving to win. But in greater scheme of things, Jay would have been more important to win. But yeah, Jay won, and also yeah, I could not have believed if Jay would have lost to impact paddling again, because that was the reason why he lost in the first time. But now he won by change the rhythm of the flow of the heartbeat, like when you fought against Kaneshiro, his heartbeat raced heartbeat went so up, and he was like almost like in the zone, like death zone or something, heat zone or something. And now he excelled, and wow, Jay won. I'm so happy. And it's kind of crazy. I've been reading Windbreaker now, let's say 3.5 years, and yeah, seeing now the whole main reason of Windbreaker is now coming to an end. It's not like, I don't think Windbreaker is ending, but like the whole main objective for the whole series of the story, this part of Windbreaker now ended. The race, the tournament is now over. Of course, we're going to see more and stuff, but it's kind of crazy to see that. Imagine like now with people who read Windbreaker since the moment it came out and continue reading it, and now all this event now is finally over. Especially like last chapter, when we saw like Vinny and Jay racing, we saw like multiple panels of all the contestants who they fought throughout the series to come together and then racing for this special moment. It was phenomenal, and I'm so happy. And now I'm really happy Jay won, and it looks really, really cool. And also a lot of like this aura they had Jay versus Vinny, like the black and red hound, and also like Jay with like hummingbird, like aura avatar, something was really cool. And also looks like, I forgot the guy who also was Jay's uncle teammate. Looks like he's now thinking, like testing for Jay if he doped. Jay didn't dope, thank goodness, but probably what could happen that he will try to mess up the result and show that Jay doped even though he didn't. This could be so very messed up, and constantly he's constantly against Jay because he's the uncle of because he's the nephew of his teammate. But yeah, I'm very excited, so happy. But let's go, we finally won. Let's see what's going to happen next. So I just read the new chapter of Windbreaker, chapter 550, and like, look at this. This scene made me laugh so much. Like, look at look at this reaction. But anyways, yeah, Windbreaker chapter 550 is a phenomenal. It's a good chapter, but I'm shocked because Jay, of course we know Jay is racing against Choi, right? But it's already started. The race starts already. It's going to start next chapter. I'm like, what? I thought we'd potentially get like huge chapters of Jay training with potentially with also with Vinny helping out, because Vinny knows like about impact pedaling and stuff, and with Kaneshiro also being there in a expert support, right? Because this is now, well, the final fight in between, like final race between Jay and Vinny was like almost like the most important fight. But now this is takes the cake because of so many different things happens, because yes, the only reason why Jay started going doing the race competition is to prove that his father, not his father, his uncle is not a bad person, right? Like with the drug and stuff, and Choi made fun of him. But now he's going to race against it. Now I'm like worried. Now I'm legit worried when I read this, and damn, I'm very excited, but this is not a problem. Against Vinny, I was like, okay, this is hard because all of them are so much like in tier category, like better than Hummingbird. But now this now get really problematic with Choi. But Choi is, of course, he's retired and he's not in his prime anymore, but still the experience, everything, and it's a 1v1. So he doesn't have anyone to help Jay to go forward and stuff. So if Jay screws up, then it's almost no way for Jay to catch up unless Jay does something crazy. And now with Kaneshiro also talking about like particular ways and how he could improve or how he can somehow find his own way of doing impact padding that helps him to increase his speed. But yeah, what also one I wanted to showcase is yeah, I love the art style of Windbreaker, freaking sake. Look how beautiful it's drawn. I really love how the creator of Windbreaker draws the woman. It looks very elegant, very beautiful, and it's not too much, you know what I mean? And also look at Kaneshiro. She looks so beautiful, like the style and everything, not too much, but still elegant, beautiful. Yes, Windbreaker is one of the art style, like similar art I want to achieve, like in terms of proportion and everything. But yeah, I'm so excited what's going to happen. And I'm also very worried about Jay. Like, I thought we were going to give Jay a chance to practice, but it doesn't seem like he doesn't have enough time. But oh well, we'll see what's going to happen next. So yeah, let's talk about the final chapter of Windbreaker, chapter 556. And this most likely will be my final review of Windbreaker, as it's the final chapter. And I will also talk about the situation with the tracing, allegation, and cancellation of Windbreaker. So it's going to be a long one. Yes, so Windbreaker, now yeah, Windbreaker chapter 556, final chapter. Jay won. That was to be expected, but how Jay did this is kind of crazy. Also, Jay used psychological warfare against him, and yeah, Jay won. Finally happy. And yeah, it's amazing. Also, we got to see a lot of different things being exposed and everything. That's really crazy. And yeah, also we got now to see finally one of the most mysterious figure that we got to see when we got introduced to Kaneshiro, right? Kaneshiro and this mysterious figure seems to be like the mastermind behind all the doping and all the different situations that happens to the current plot, our current characters, and also the past characters like Jay uncle and Kaneshiro's big brother. So this is going to be very interesting, but unfortunately we're not going to see it because it's the end for Windbreaker. And also, yes, Jay won is surprising. Everybody was the fans, of course. Jay fans were really happy, and then also the other people get fuming out because pro lost and ex-pro lost. But yeah, also one surprising thing is also they showed like what would have been the Korean international Korean team group for this, and it looked like how I thought it's going to be Windbreaker, like Hummingbird, is going to lead the international stages, so only these characters will come, and potentially plus Vinny. But it looks differently because the announcer announced the international players, the announced sorry, he announced the international people who go into the national stage, Team Korea, and we saw Jay, of course, Vinny, makes sense, Monster, and I forgot the other guy who was like has a shark motive, who is sort of like a rival with Monster, and Kaneshiro was there. Why? Kaneshiro has her own group, right, from Japan, so why is she there? This was confusing, and yeah, this would have been interesting to see. And one shocking thing that we got to see is June doped. This I never expected, because how come? I don't think June intentionally doped. This I don't believe it. And also, yeah, maybe something has happened. He accidentally drank the water that Jay gave him, so it would be Vinny's fault. So it would mean Vinny. Nah, I don't think Vinny really tried doing this. But yeah, because we see Vinny didn't do this. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, this would be interesting how this is gonna be. And also, apparently we go to see one character in chains with doping, and he was thinking about Jay. Was this and his uncle? We don't know. We never know, unfortunately. But yeah, this was my final review. And also, think about this whole, now with the whole cancellation thing. Imagine this happened 10 chapters ago. If this happened 10 chapters ago, that would mean this would have happened right before Jay and Vinny crossed the finish line. This would have been way worse. But yeah, thank God it didn't happen. But now let's talk about the whole situation, right? I am a big Windbreaker fan, and seeing this, what happened with what the creator did, like Trace and Allegation, is unfortunately very unfortunate. This is not acceptable, because making art, you make art, you make money with it, and then trace other people's work, why you make money off of it is really messed up, and that's unacceptable. And yes, of course he cancelled the series. I might be very biased because this Windbreaker is my favorite series, but I really want it to come back because it's my favorite series. But what he did is acceptable? No. Should be there any consequences? Yeah, because what he did is wrong. And I don't know, from what I've heard and what I've seen, it seems like he himself cancelled Windbreaker, not necessarily webtoon itself. I think because of the allegation that happened, everything, webtoon also then cancelled the whole situation, what happened. But yeah, this is unacceptable as an artist doing this. And also, I've seen somewhere saying that Windbreaker potentially could come back. I'm not 100% sure, but if it is, maybe in a year or time, I would be very beautiful, really cool. But of course, some people would not approve it. I mean, it makes sense. What he did is unacceptable as an artist, and yeah. But if Windbreaker would ever to come back, I would be happy. But some people would, like I said, would not be. But then, if Windbreaker would come back, of course, the artists need to do another official apology to the fans, and also especially to the artists he traced the work over. And yeah, and potentially, if he would come back, well, everybody would be more strict and more harsh on him every time he posts a chapter. But then what he needs to do to make it a bit more more transparent is, if he would, for example, because he used Clip Studio Paint software that he used to do all the chapters, he'd be able to automatically record all the chapters that he's doing, like the process, and then he could upload it later on. So at least it'd be a bit more transparency of if he would come back and how his next approach is. If he come back, he might come back with Windbreaker, or Windbreaker with a different name added to it, or he will come back with a complete different story. Well, I don't know. But yeah, that's still unacceptable, because I've seen the post. He says yes, he was on the deadline and everything. Still, it's unacceptable. I would rather have waited extra chapters, extra week, instead of this situation to happen. If I would have waited extra longer, I'll of course be a bit upset, but then we would not be in this situation. Also, I can understand because deadline, especially like series like this comes every weekly, especially as it's going to be rendered, colors and drawing. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and especially in the manga scene, manhwa scene, comic scene, we know how taxing and how stressful that is. And this we need as a community to try to make this better because we are amount of mangas we've seen who've been very sick about this. Mangas who cannot barely be with their family, and mangas who have like a lot of problem because of the debt and everything. This needs to be addressed, but still this should have not happened. I would have rather had him just trace over his work again and again and over instead of this, because as an artist it's unacceptable doing this, but of course health wise is also very important. I would rather have him just trace over his own work, or not having that really cool pattern that he thought of doing or that he traced over with. But I would really, it sounds biased, you might might not approve of it, but I really love this Windbreaker comeback. Especially Windbreaker has become this year my favorite series, favorite manhwa series of all time. And I would even say if this would have had an anime, it would have been freaking one of my favorite anime of all time. Still, I would still say Windbreaker has amazing story, amazing characters, amazing art, still applies, but the tracing, unacceptable. Like I said, still unacceptable. Still, I really have this situation and this whole situation, what happened when someone comic the whole Bleach and copy the whole Bleach story. But it hurts me more because I won't say that Windbreaker rescued me or like stuff, but Windbreaker, when I started university, my first university, this is when I started reading Windbreaker, especially in the beginning of uni, I was so stressed. I was not well at all, and I had so much pressure on me because it's uni and everything, and I couldn't enjoy myself anything like my favorite anime, food and everything. But when reading Windbreaker, when I started reading Windbreaker, it gave me sort of like an ease. I won't say like Windbreaker saved my life, but it made the situation, my first university, much like easier to go through, especially because Windbreaker had a nice time and enjoyed it so much. I would still say Windbreaker is a phenomenal series. This racing, unacceptable, but I really would love to Windbreaker coming back in a different way, or like I would still say the art style is still one of the amazing art style, character design, everything, but oh well, unfortunately.